Welcome to another Tuesday Top Tips. Thank you all for being here, and those who are going to watch the replay, thank you. So welcome, and I have a challenge for you guys today, and that is maybe what I believe is the biggest misconception in the industry of credit, okay? I think we often believe our value is found by explaining things, information. We're creating PDFs and guides and this and that, and maybe educational videos. And I want to challenge you because I don't think that's the key for our business, okay? And here's why I know that to be true. If information was all that was needed to help someone get to their credit goals, then YouTube would have taken our job already. Think about this for a second. Information's out there. It's everywhere, right? I can go on YouTube and I can get information. Maybe I'll bet sometimes not the best information in our industry, as we all know, but the information's there. So if information was what I needed in order for me to get to my credit goal, then it's already there. So I wouldn't have a job. You wouldn't have a job. I wouldn't have a job. Us credit professionals. But I believe that the real issue we have is implementation. Implementation is where we become very valuable. So I want to talk about that, and that's what Tuesday Top Tip is about. So you'll see on my slide here, every client needs this, and that is an action plan. And here's what I believe. If I were a personal trainer, I guess I am. I haven't done it in a while, but I am. But if I'm a personal trainer and you come to me for personal training, I'm going to create a plan for you, okay? Why am I going to create a plan for you? You can go get the information, but I'm going to personalize the plan for you and for your goals. That's value that I'm giving you, okay? That's one of the values that you're paying me for. Because the biggest problem that people have is not information. They can get that easily, very easily today. It's implementation. And if it's implementation, what's holding them back? If they got the information, can't they take the information to create the implementation? We would think so, but that's not what happens. People get confused, overwhelmed, and anxious about what is the first step. What's the second step? What's the most important? And oftentimes they're fighting with this idea of maybe they're making the wrong move. Think about it for yourself right now. Some of you I know have been in Go High Level. And you're playing around in Go High Level. There's information on YouTube about Go High Level all day long. You can go to Go High Level to find out how to do all the different things in Go High Level. Fair? We all know that's true. Okay. How come you struggle with Go High Level? Because there's so much there. It's so complex that we don't realize what is the first and best thing to do. I know when I'm building a Go High Level, I have the same problem. I'll start building the website and I need a form. And then the form, I have to go out and this side and make the form over here. And it starts getting very complex very, very fast. And because of that, that stops people. Stops people in their tracks. Complexity stops people in their tracks. Overwhelm, right? Fear of not making the right choices and decisions and actions, right? Those are the things that you bring to the table as extreme value. And that's why every client needs an action plan. And we're going to dive into that a little bit deeper. And I have a couple slides that I wanted to show you on this. So the first thing is I want you to realize, obviously, that is true. Every client needs an action plan. But I also want you to consider that we need to stop diagnosing and actually start prescribing. Or in other words, stop looking at all the problems the person has and start really honing in on the solutions, okay? Because information doesn't change lives. So if you're sitting there spending 30 minutes, some of you, I know you're doing this, so I did it, and you have the credit report and you're going down the credit report, talking about all the things on the credit report, going down, and this is your consultation. They haven't even paid you yet. And you're going down through all of the things on the credit report to identify all the problems so that you can try to sell them on the solution being you. But that's not what the client wants or needs. The problem has already been notified to them, either whether that's because they got denied for a home loan or something they were trying to qualify for. They already know that. The information's there, that the problem is there. So they really don't need you to go down and give them more information about the problem. They want a solution. So here's another way of saying it. Let's say we went to a doctor and we're trying to get help with an element that we have in our body, okay? So we go to the doctor, and the doctor checks our blood pressure, it checks, all our vitals. Maybe they're doing an MRI, maybe they're doing a CAT scan, or they're doing all these tests, and they come back and they tell you, well, you got high blood pressure, you have this issue, you have this issue, right? But there's no solution. What if they walked out? No solution, just you got this problem, this problem. I can help you, right? And then they walk out, right? Maybe it's the bill. You want a solution. You're looking for, hey, okay, if I have a problem, how do I fix the problem? And that's what your clients want. They want this feeling of a weight lifted off their shoulders because they have a plan. They know what to do, even if it's them doing it. Think about the personal trainer. The personal trainer is not working out for them. Guess what? They're not eating for them. They're not going grocery shopping for them. There's a lot of things the personal trainer is not doing. What the personal trainer is doing is creating a plan for them. What is the personal trainer doing after the plan? They're supporting them, guiding them, being their cheerleader. That's the value of a personal trainer. Creating a customized plan, customized, really important word, a customized plan for that individual for their goal, and then helping, supporting, and guiding them, and then cheerleading them with their celebrations of their milestones and all that. That's the value of a personal trainer. And what I'm hoping to lock in here is that you are like a personal trainer. That's what they want from you. They want the plan. Every client needs a plan. Start today. If you do not have plans for your clients today, start today. Those of you who are not familiar with Level Up Score and what it does, you're in for a big surprise. We might just take your job over for you so that you have more time. And this is what I'm going to be talking about next week with AI. So you can have more time to do the things to get more clients in. We've developed that software for you. We can create the plans instantly. We can help celebrate. We can give them their first step, their second step, their best step, their most important step, right? Transparently, without you babysitting. And then you can build more and more people. So if you have not looked at Level Up Score, you need to check it out now, because it is amazing to help you do what I'm talking about right now. It's what your clients actually need. It's what your clients actually want. They don't want the information, guys. They actually don't want you to go down through their credit report. They hate it. You're sucking the life out of them, and you're sucking their time away, and they are busy people. They hate it. Direction is what changes lives. Give me the first step. Now think about it. Just pause for a second, and I want you to think about something you're working on right now. Okay? Luckily, I have ChatGPT because I'm working on a lot of things all at one time. I'm like, ChatGPT, what's the one thing I need to work on today in regards to this project? Why? And you guys probably said this. What is the one thing, ChatGPT? What's the first step? Why do we say that? Because for us and for everybody, all we want to know is, here's what I'm trying to get to. What's the first step? So another way of saying this is, think about your GPS system. You plug in the address, and your GPS takes you one step at a time to that destination, right? Really cool, just like Level Up Score. One step at a time. They have the full picture. You can go on the GPS, and you can scroll and see every single turn and every place you're going to have to go to get to the final destination. You can see all that, but you can also see and be told what are the first steps to do, right? And so that's what the GPS system does. And then on top of it, if something happens along the way, say we have our action plan 30 days, and then 30 days later we max out our credit card, Level Up Score is going to notify them, just like a GPS would notify you, and it still has the same destination, but we might have to have different steps to get there, just like a GPS. Same destination, but if there's an accident or on one of the roads that we're supposed to turn on, it might tell us not to turn on that road, right? And that's the same thing that Level Up Score does. This is an important part of the process for every single consumer. We all want to give our consumers what they want. Thus, we keep our job, right? I mean, that's what we got in business for. We have a solution for someone that we wanted to bring to market to help someone because we saw a problem. So if that's true, and we are credit professionals, the solution to their problem is to getting them to their financial goal, whether that's buy a house, buy a car, PG business funding, or just having great credit, getting out of debt. Thus, we deliver on that. Right? And that's where action plans are so valuable. Someone once told me that people won't remember what you sold them. They'll remember how you made them feel. So I want you to think about this for a second for yourself. If you had a big goal that you were trying to reach and someone said, here's a plan. Step number 1, step number 2, step number 3. How are you going to feel in that moment? Now, I ask my clients all the time, if you guys are familiar, I do that feedback, refine thing. And so I ask my clients, you got the action plan. How do you feel about that? Or sometimes I don't even have to ask. They just say, Allie, I feel like, and this is the number one thing I hear, I feel like you took a big, huge weight off my shoulders. I actually know what to do. Now, contrast that with you being a dispute person. All you're doing is disputes and the plan's not transparent. You don't even have a plan for them, God forbid, right? Maybe you send them an email. Here's some things you can do, right? And you're a dispute person. You're doing all these things behind the scenes, right? They don't feel like a weight was lifted off their shoulders. They're still in overwhelming confusion. And as the days go on and they don't see any progress or you don't update them with progress, I don't care if it's been 24 hours. And we all know that if I'm doing disputes, it's not going to happen in 24 hours. Even if you're doing credit sweeps, right? God forbid. But it's not going to happen in 24 hours. But for them, they didn't get an update in 24 hours. Immense overwhelm. But notice in the conversation where the person says, hey, it felt like you took a big weight off my shoulders. I now know what to do. That's a value I gave them. And guess what? I didn't have to do it. I don't have to do the things that are on the action plan. That's the beauty of it. It's on them. They get to be the hero of their own story. Not you. Sorry, ego. They get to be the hero of their own story. You get to be the coach and the accountability partner, the support person, the guide, the cheerleader in the process to help them keep seeing their goal. Because sometimes the goal seems so far away. And we know if we take step by step by step, we're always going to get there. But if we stop a step, we may never get there. So sometimes when the goal is so far and there's so many steps, it's our job to come in and help them. That's the value we bring. Okay. And that's why these are so important. So clients don't pay for reports. You're getting them on credit monitoring. They don't care about the credit monitoring. How many of your clients, you guys can chat this, put this in the comments. How many of your clients actually look at their credit monitoring? I would love to know. I would love to know what you think. Is it often? Many? All? None? Unlikely? I've been in this business for 23 years. And when I started using credit monitoring as part of the process for my credit restoration, I found that I'm the only one that looked at their credit monitoring to check on updates. I'm the only one because they don't care about that report. Okay. They want the update of the credit score because they see that as the help to get them to their goal, but they really don't care what's on the credit report. They don't care. The only reason they care is because you train them that you're going to remove something off their credit report and then they care to see if it's removed. You trained them on that. That's on you. That's what you sold them. Even though that's not the real goal. That's what you sold them. So they think it is. But they actually pay for clarity. We all do. And we pay bigger dollars for clarity. That's why if you have Go High Level and you're struggling with Go High Level, you're going to go hire a Go High Level expert to start putting this together. Clarity. Or at least to answer the questions for you, right? So I want you to consider that as you are putting together your process and your journey for clients. If you already have a journey for your clients, hey, that's a living, breathing process. If it's not optimal, change it. If it's not optimal, change it. Do not get in the habit of continuously changing your process though, guys. You will jeopardize your business and you'll probably go under. But it's not optimal. Start changing it. Make it optimized. Make sure you have action plans. If you don't and you don't know how to put that in your process, email me at support@levelupscore.com. I will show you how you can put it in your process and I will make it simple. Everybody knows me as simple, simple, simple. Automate, automate, automate. I will spend all day looking how I don't have to work. And I'll teach you how to too. But what I want you to know is people spend a lot of time giving more information. We're going to do a financial literacy class. And I'm not saying that these aren't good things, okay? But don't do a financial literacy class and not get an action plan. I had a young lady who came to me. She was awarded a grant from the state in which she lives and works of $350,000 to do financial literacy. She was excited. She wanted to help people. She started doing these financial literacy classes. She calls me up and she says, Allie, I got a problem. I love doing the financial literacy. I feel like I'm pouring into people, but they're not doing anything. They're glassy-eyed, information's going over the head. They never take the next step. And I know that they don't because they're in this home education program in order to get a home and they never get there. The actual ability for someone to go in the program and actually end up in a home wasn't happening. And she says, all I know is they need a personalized plan. And so she started offering them in that financial literacy, the action plan, a journey, a guide. Here's what's first, here's what's second. And then the success of people's journey of getting to their home changed. If you want to put in the comments, I'd love to know what you think changed. 1 for they had clarity and they started moving forward, right? So more clarity, right? They want more clarity. They don't want more information. They want their priorities, the sequence, the accountability, right? Sometimes they need your help to hold their goal strong for them. Sometimes we all need someone to hold our goal strong for us, right? It's the beauty of having friends and family and support systems. Hopefully you guys have that. If you don't have that in business, I'll be that person for you. Just get on my strategy calls. I'll be that person for you. But your clients need that from you. It's really important. Okay. So clients don't need more information. Why action plans create a better business? I want to talk about this for a second because we're talking about, hey, everybody needs an action plan. And they do. But why do they create a better business? And I want to kind of dive into that a little bit. And I have some notes because I want to make sure that I don't miss anything. So I'm going to give you six reasons action plans create a better business. So let's start there. So we already talked about how it creates a better experience, journey, getting there to the client to their goals. We covered the client, but how does this help you in business? How does the action plan help you? Because we have to have both sides of the coin. If we're going to spend time or money on anything, make sure it's helping both sides of the coin, the consumer and your business, right? And make sure you're here for Tuesday's Top Tip next week, because I'm going to talk about AI, what you need to be doing and making sure with AI, because some of you guys are doing it all wrong. And some of you know that I am an addict for AI, but I'm going to teach you what is important when using AI and what is not. So we'll talk about that next week, next Tuesday, so don't miss that. But let's look at the 6 things that action plans are actually going to create a better business for you. So first, accountability. A written plan creates commitment from your clients. Clients are much more likely to complete tasks when they know exactly what's expected. Oh, wow. So let's think about that for a second. How does that help your business? Because if clients are doing the program and they're doing the actions on the plan, not you, by the way, you have more time to do other things because they're doing the actions. But by doing those actions, we know, because we've been doing them for 23 years, we know they will get to their goal. Okay, so they got to their goal. That means a lot of things for you. If they were referred to you by a loan officer, you're going to get more referrals, right? Right? If they came to you because they found you on social media, they're going to tell all their friends about you, right? We know these things to be true. Okay. So first is accountability. They need and want accountability. And we oftentimes talk about kids. We have kids who don't have a parent that keeps them accountable. We have kids who have parents who keep them accountable. And the healthy, growing children are the ones that are held accountable, even though they say they don't want it. And the kids who don't have it actually say they want it. Isn't that crazy? Because we do. We want it. We want structure. Structure is important to us. So accountability is important. Number 2, consistency. Every client receives the same exceptional experience. We've created an experience for them, right? Same exceptional experience. Systems create consistency. So using like Level Up Score and having this system, it creates consistency. And consistency is one of the number 1 things that builds trust. It's powerful. I'm telling you, it's powerful. Another reason it creates better businesses. But let's look at number 3, retention. I get calls on this all the time. Allie, help me with retention. That's one of the hardest things we struggle with. So retention, number 3, clients don't usually leave because they're making progress. I think we'd all agree to that. Put a smile emoji or something down in the comments if you agree with me. Clients don't usually leave because they're making progress. One of the credit repair companies that I was working with the other day, he's like, they leave if in 30 days I didn't get something deleted. That's what we trained them to believe, that was how they got to their goal. So in 30 days they paid you and nothing got deleted. Why wouldn't they stop? I would. If you told me you're going to get me to my goal and I just spent 30 days and I'm still no closer to my goal, not a fun experience, right? So we're putting all that weight on ourselves when we're saying, hey, we're doing everything for you, when we can't. Guys, you can't dispute. You can't dispute away the negatives on the credit report and magically they bought a home. That's rare, if at all possible. So retention, clients don't usually leave because we're making progress. They leave because they don't think they're making progress. They don't think they're making progress. An action plan lets them see the journey and celebrate the wins along the way. How beautiful. Small wins, little things. They know the journey. They have the full transparent process right in front of them. And if they veer off, it lets them know the destination's the same. Personalized for them. Number 4, referrals. Don't we love referrals? Referrals are so good. They're the best. I can't tell you how many times people call me up and they're like, Allie, I was referred to you by 4 different people. What a beautiful ring to my ears, right? Ego. But also I know that if people refer to me, they are more likely to sign up and they're more likely to have a good experience with me just from what they've heard already, right? I've been sold. I don't have to sell anything. Beautiful thing not to have to sell anything, right? I'm not a salesperson. I'm a giver. I give things, and in that way, I create sales. But some of you guys know my story. I didn't get hired at Fifth Third Bank as a branch manager because of the mortgage department, because I had to do the personality test, and it said my personality was customer service. And I said, oh, that's kind of funny, since I'm the top loan officer in the area, that I wouldn't get hired because I'm customer service. And then I told the guy, I said, maybe that's why I'm the top. So think about that for a second. Okay, so referrals. People refer confidence. When clients feel guided and they feel supported and they feel successful, they naturally tell others. And do you know, if you make your client the hero and they feel good about themselves because they took actions that got them closer and then eventually got them to whatever the goal is, they're going to also relate that same good feeling about themselves to you who helped them get there. It's a beautiful thing. So referrals, don't underestimate those. We want referrals. So that's the 4th thing. The 5th thing, renewals. Clients who see continuous progress stay engaged because they understand that their future milestones are needed. They have their future milestones to achieve. So renewals, guys, some of you know that I have in my client journey, I have the graduation program. I keep people forever. They stay with me forever. I am known as their trusted advisor, right? So I get to stay in front of them over and over and over again. And thus, because I'm in front of them over and over again, and they have a good feeling with being with me, they're referring their family and friends. Coworker starts talking about credit issues or wanting to buy a home or something. Guess who they call, right? Hey, you should get a hold of Allie. So my point is that when you are able to give them this feeling of an exceptional experience, they're going to be more likely to stay with you as your trusted advisor. You stay in front of them. And number 6, the final one that I wanted to bring up. Number 6, testimonials. People don't write glowing reviews because you explain utilization well, that you gave them a bunch of information, right? They write reviews because you reduced their stress, gave them hope. Oh, underline that. If you're writing notes, underline that. Hope, gave them hope, and helped them achieve meaningful goals. Those are the people who give meaningful testimonials. So that is what creates a better business. Action plans aren't paperwork. They're leadership. Their communication, confidence, creates momentum, and it builds trust. So You should be asking a question, how can I make it easier for every client to know exactly what to do next? You guys all know the answer already. It's level up score. If you're in the credit industry, you're a loan officer, you're a real estate agent, it's level up score. For those not yet ready individuals, it's level up score. You help them know what to do next. And by doing that, you're going to lift up a big heavy weight off of their shoulders. All right. I'd love for you guys to stay connected with me. If you are not already following me on Facebook, this is the QR code to follow me on the public Facebook group. And if you are a Level Up Score member, we have a private group where I do coaching inside of that. I help you strategize, grow, and scale your business, all free as a Level Up Score partner. You're a success boss. That's the group. If you're not yet, scan that QR code and ask to join that group, so that when you do become a partner, we can let you in immediately. This is not, I can't even overstate how important that group is for your success, okay? But that group is there and available for you. If you are not a Level Up Score member, it is really easy to get started. You can go to levelupscore.com. There is a button that says sign up. You're gonna hit sign up. It's gonna walk you through how to set up your account. And that's going to block you and say you have to have a call with me. That's okay, because you're going to want that call with me. But you can also email support@levelupscore.com and say, hey, I've heard enough. I want to get in now, and then I'll have a call with Allie if I need to. Let me in, and we will let you in. So really excited to help you guys with that. And thank you for being here for Tuesday Top Tips. If I poured value into you and you have not done a Google review for me, please do so. I have a QR code here to ask you to do a Google review for me if this was valuable. Now, side note, I only like 5-star reviews. So if you do not believe I poured 5-star level value into you in this video, please send me an email at support@levelupscore.com and tell me what I need to do to earn your 5-star review. I appreciate you all. Have an amazing day. And thank you for being here at Tuesday Top Tips. And make sure you're here next week for my AI presentation. I appreciate you.